we later on found out that they were all sort of palliative. They were making her sleep more. They were chemically reducing her anxiety and depression. So through all this falling and all that which I mentioned, by the time she had gone in depression, and this neurologist made her sleep more. So the combination of falls due to force for walking and a sluggish brain due to heavy medicines had a pretty bad impact, because she would sleep most of the time, not able to learn anything. Brain was in that kind of state. So uh, that takes me to my next topic as to after Vasa concept or during Vasa concept. So fortunately, I saw a video, and then I took an appointment after completing all the paperwork, and we got appointment of January 2019. That's when we started Vasa concept. Now, the way I would like to share, Parth, can you just give one more slide, please? So before we go to Vasa concept, this is the state Seema was after traditional therapy. If you notice, her feet are pretty deformed, and they were not so in 2009 and so on. But because of all this, they walking and all that, they got deformed. And the fall was so bad that the neurologist asked us to do MRI. And fortunately, there was no internal injury. So fortunately, again, I found Dr. Vasa, Vasa concept as a solution, and took an appointment with Dr. Raju Vasa madam. And in January 2019, we started this. So let's see what happened in Vasa concept. I would like to share this after Vasa concept experience in a few parts. Basically, one is the transition part. What did we learn as we were still new? There are some misconceptions that people have, and there are some do's and don'ts that Vasa concept tells us to follow. And then in between, as a part of that, I'll also share what are the results we started getting as part of Vasa concept, doing all those activities. And then after that, I will also, I would say, introduce to you, because so far we have not talked about it, introduce to fantastic, I would say, feature of Vasa concept, and we can call it Vasa concept empowerment. So we'll see what that empowerment means. Okay, so let's start with the initial stages transition as we started learning Vasa concept. So first thing we did was, as per advice from Dr. Vasa madam, we started all the neuro drugs, and we did it in a pretty tapered manner. Try to look on the net, and even I visited one neurologist, make sure I'm not doing any mistake. And there's one pill which took us 3 months, but all other pills we stopped within a matter of few weeks. Now, immediately, situation changed, because instead of sleeping for 14 hours, she was now awake for entire day like a normal person. She was alert. Her brain was ready to learn. First good thing in just few weeks. Second thing, as a don't, that Dr. Vasa madam had asked us, that don't force her to walk. Even if we are going out, put her on a wheelchair, but no walking. So no walking means there was no need for splint or special shoes, etc. And so after that, as that happened, and as we started Vasa concept activities, feet situation started improving. Okay, so that was a good. Her skin started glowing, so that was a good thing. Her depression started coming because she was getting some hope. Okay, now I'll come to one misconception. So one misconception that people have, some of them even after joining Vasa concept, is they think that it is a set of exercises. Now, Vasa concept is nothing close to exercises. It is a far higher, broader, and deeper concept. And the one difference, I'm not getting into details of this, but I'll just, something that normal science person might be able to, at least try to understand. So what I try to understand is basically prevalent physiotherapies, uh, are concerned about gravity, and then they give props like walker and stake and so on. Whereas Vasa concept tries to exploit gravity. So it tries to, through its activities, it tries to establish the positive connection between patient's brain, body, and gravity. So Vasa concept has a very deep, very solid scientific basis. So it is not an exercise. But anyway, some people think that it is exercise, and they either don't realize the importance of it, so they make their own changes to it. They don't follow some of the specifications, and therefore they don't get uh, the desired results. So, having gone past that misconception, let us see another important principle or a facet of Vasa concept. In Vasa concept, again, compared to general, outside what happens or any other diseases, typically when patients are sick, they think they have to rest to recover, and family also think they have to rest. But Vasa concept does not look at brain damage as a disease. It looks at brain damage as a condition, and like I told you, it exploits gravity. Therefore, it prescribes that the patients do hard work Vasa concept activities for 6 to 8 hours per day. So, in other words, it's a contrast change. Unlike rest to recover, here it is aram haram hai. So, meaning work is worship. Everybody has to work. I mean, the patient has to work for 6 to 8 hours, and the family has to enable the patient to work for 6 to 8 hours. So that is another basic principle of aram haram hai, which sometimes people don't like that. People are used to shortcuts or somebody else doing, physiotherapist doing everything, and they will just give their arms and legs to the physiotherapist. Vasa concept is nothing like that. Now, as Seema did all this work, what result we got? Okay, so one thing I had not mentioned is because of all these drugs which made her sleep, she had put on 10 kilos. And after few months of Vasa concept hard work, she lost all those kilos. Her fingers started straightening. As I said, her feet also were relaxed, and the right foot was improving. The curling started reducing, her knee recovery item started reducing. Okay, there's one last physical result I will mention. Uh, Next slide. Okay. So as you can see here, her feet after or during Vasa concept are substantially better now. Her skin was better. So now what is U-turn? So there are a couple of topics, I mean, couple of factors for the U-turn. Um, one result, or we saw, I told you in before Vasa concept situation, there was a time when she had fallen and she didn't know how to get up. However, with Vasa concept, there are activities which have helped her to go in mobility from sofa sitting to ground to sitting, and sitting to stand. Of course, she was doing, but even stand to ground, she could do that. So that is giving her and us, all of us, the confidence that before we attempt the final frontier of walking, we are taking the necessary baby steps. And thanks to Dr. Vasa Madam's guidance and her, the fact that she has allowed me to work with some patients, I have seen many patients that they have done this U-turn and they have uh, come out. And we saw one example, brilliant example of Shreyas, who is appearing 10th standard now. So uh, I know that we have taken a U-turn, and then we are finally moving in the direction of true recovery. So I don't want to get into compensation and compromise. Those are physiotherapist technical terms, but I can see that Seema is on the path where uh, she is improving not just her physical movements but emotionally also. So how is it? How is it depression coming? Uh, how is that her depression has gone? Now that takes me to the most significant aspect that I've been involved with, and we'll call it Vasa concept empowerment. Okay, so Vasa concept empowerment has three aspects. One is it uh, empowers the families first. So families are told, educated by Dr. Vasa Madam as to what is important, what is not important, and what to do, what not to do. And in that, we are told that, I mean, we are trained, families are trained by Dr. Vasa Madam and her team how to do these VC activities, Vasa concept activities ourselves at home, at the comfort of our home or garden. There is no need to, go to any center, pay money to anybody. This is all free. So the way this model works is families help the patients do the exercise initially when the patient is new to Vasa concept, and patient does it at home. After every few months, families send the videos of current status to madam. Madam sees the videos. If the improvements are as per expectations, she may give the new set of exercises. But many times there may be some errors in what families are doing, and she will guide as to what needs to be done. So this empowers the family that we don't have to go run every week somewhere or every month somewhere. We just focus on the patient and help him or her do the Vasa concept activities. Second, empowerment. Okay, this is also very fantastic. One is the Vasa concept activities, though they are based on uh, highly complex scientific principles, very deep. She has done a lot of deep research over many years, spending midnight oil. But what she has come up with finally are simple activities which variety of brain patients, whether it's TBI, stroke, cerebral palsy, spinal injury, whatever age, little kid, middle kid, old person, all of them can eventually learn. Initially, they'll need some holding, guiding. But the beauty of Vasa concept, the biggest beauty as I felt and seen in Seema is that I was just amazed that she was able to do certain exercises herself over a period of time. So that is what creates that confidence in the patient that she is not dependent on anybody for the core activity or recovery mechanism. She can do. There are at least 4 or 5 she can do alone. There are others where we help her, but she can do those activities herself. So that is the first step towards independence. Is at least you can do the activities which some call exercises, which I call activities. She can do it herself. So family empowerment, patient empowerment. Now the third very interesting empowerment, I would call it economic and social empowerment. So economic meaning, many years back she decided she's not going to take any money. So that means patients or families from variety of socio-economic layers can approach Vasa, can get the benefit from it. So there is no agent or any, there's no money level issues involved. Second thing is, so this is a direct cost saving. Now, there's another indirect cost saving which I realized, which I sort of realized only now, financially realized. I mean, is that uh, we had to go to for 2 hours to physiotherapy. That was like 600, 800, whatever, and then we had a full day maid servant. Now, Seema has reached such a level that we don't even need the maid servant. So every day we are saving more than 1,000 bucks. And I have retired for Seema, so I'm thrilled that I don't have to dig out all my savings. And it's not just about me. It is to just think about it. Think about what this model can do to India or the world or Finland. I mean, this is something that uh, can change the life of brain patients. you look at the contrast, what was happening to Seema or this fellow, our friend in 10th, Shreyas, before Vasa concept, what happened to them after Vasa concept. And this is, we need to take a pause and think what this can do to brain patients of India and the world, because totally different mindset, totally different radical pioneering, so, revolutionary, whatever you can call it. It's not based on money. It is based on empowerment of the family and patient. Uh, so it is basically knowledge, and so I used to wonder, how Dr. Vasa madam got this. So in one of the interviews, she said that she was so much. I mean, one thing I would like to mention about her is I've talked about my wife to many different people, doctors and friends, because I used to get frustrated and I wanted to always share my pain with somebody, but not many people understood what is brain injury, and then what to do with such patient. So people said, "Oh, she can move around somehow with walker. Oh, she's not bedridden. Okay, great." But as I explained to you, I mean, our situation is absolutely pathetic. It was going down where she had gone into depression, and the whole family was in panic or depression. And so I think this brain patients become prisoners of their own bodies, and this is not understood by. And I don't blame them because they may not have such, they don't have seen such patients closely. So the quality of Dr. Vasa madam that I wanted to share with you is she is one of those few people who is not only empathizes and understands whenever she looks at any brain patient what that brain patient has been going through, why his limbs are in whatever state they are, what that patient must be going emotionally, psychologically. Simple thing that we need reflexes to kill a mosquito. These patients cannot do that simple thing, or some of them cannot go to bathroom on their own. So many of those grown-up kids. So anyway, we will take those cases later. So coming to Dr. Vasa madam, I feel that she has the ability to empathize, understand, and then that is the reason she has thought deeply about this empowerment and come up with this model. Not only the scientific part, because I don't understand, we're not that covering that in first 2 days, like Dr. Neeraj said, but there is a deep scientific revolutionary invention, which we can call invention of the century, because if you look at 100 years back, even U.S. Politician Woodrow Wilson had this thing, paralysis. He had problem. Even a few years back, Mark Kirk had paralysis. Even he had. He was not able to get up. You look at YouTube. You look at internet. You will see Mark Kirk. They spent $30 million on trying to get him to walk the Capitol Hill. They could make him walk, but with somebody's help on left shoulder and right shoulder stick and all that. And few years after that, he is wheelchair bound. Or you look at Satya Nadella's son, just Microsoft CEO. Just look at in the US, most advanced country. He's a cerebral palsy but wheelchair bound. So the uh, point I was trying to drive at is the life of brain patient is extremely painful across the world, whether it is most advanced country of US, and we will see what's happening in Finland, or India, or anywhere corner of the world. And here is a solution, which is invention, which has been developed within our own country. And we have realized our own potential last few years. And here is another invention with great potential. And if we, our own Indians ourselves, do not look at this invention and then look outside, I don't know. I don't know what is the solution. So anyway, with that, I'm going to stop.